Spiritual Living Menifee Valley. We welcome you to our beloved community here and the virtual reality in which we are showing up all around in so many places. And it's so wonderful to have you all here. And thank you for those who were able to join with me earlier for the meditation. I was getting very creative yesterday and recorded a video with some photographs of Lake Tahoe going along there. And good morning, George. We welcome you here. So, Center for Spiritual Living, Menifee Valley. This is our beloved community, the place in which we are creating a space where we can feel the love, a space where we feel that we are welcome just as we are, because we know that each and every one of us is a unique, individualized expression of spirit. And so we show up in that place of understanding and compassion and love to be connected into the oneness and the wholeness of who we are. So I welcome you all here, and would like to where do we begin? Let's begin with Reverend Ann and our announcements for today.
Good morning, everyone. So glad to see you all. And I too want to welcome everybody, and especially anyone who's joining us for the first time this morning. So glad that you decided to tune in and enjoy our wonderful Zoom service and Facebook. We encourage you to continue reaching out to each other and join us on Wednesday evenings at 6:30 for our midweek Zoom service, which gives us another opportunity to connect and listen to an uplifting message from Dr. Michael. The center continues to be closed at least through mid-July. No specific date for reopening has been determined at this point, but the Core Council will be taking this up again at their next meeting in July. In the meantime, the work of the center continues. Please know that when we do reopen, we will do our best to provide a safe atmosphere for all. Thank you for your continuing support of the center financially. It is very much appreciated, as most of the center's expenses continue in spite of the fact that we're not in the building itself. You may mail checks directly to the center or visit our website at cslmenifee.org and donate through PayPal or credit cards. Or you might consider setting up automatic automatic withdrawals from your bank, and they will just be sent directly to the center. So we just appreciate your support, regardless of whatever means works best for you. Reverend Michael's new online Zoom class, Mental Equivalence, starts Tuesday, July 7th. That'll be from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And this is a core course in the spiritual living category, which consists of 5 sessions plus 1 meeting with a practitioner. Registration is $45. Tuition for non-members is $125. For center members, the tuition is $75. The required book is The Mental Equivalent by Emmett Fox. The workbook is digitized. There will also be an additional cost for printing and mailing. A digital subscription of Science of Mind magazine is still available for a 12-month subscription for $9.95, and that is good through the end of this month. So you need to go directly through home office for that. Print issues are available at the center for $5. So you may contact White Feather or myself to pick one up. Or if you prefer, Dave and Kara will deliver issues directly to your home if you live anywhere in between Sun City and Hemet. So contact any Core Council member if you'd like to avail yourself of this service. Licensed professional practitioners are available to serve and assist you with prayer. If you have a prayer request for this week, please forward them to ministerial student Sonja Prince or to myself. They will then be forwarded to the rest of the Ministry of Prayer. And the practitioners are also available for more personal, in-depth prayer and counseling on a fee-for-service basis during the week. You will find all the contact information you need on the center website. For more information, visit our website at cslmenifee.org and like us on Facebook. Also, as a reminder, the Sunday and Wednesday messages are recorded on YouTube and can be located on our webpage or check with Dave and Kara on how to find them. Last week's gratitude report. Donations, checks were $395, cash was $300, total deposit $730. Our Zoom service attendance, the Sunday Zoom service attendance was 26 plus 11 on Facebook, and the Wednesday Zoom service attendance was 11 plus 2 on Facebook. So that pretty much takes care of the announcements for this week. So we'll just move right along, and we're going to have Victoria sing for us.
All right, I will be.
Of mind in the section entitled The Power of Thought. And this particular paragraph is entitled One with God. Until we awake to the fact that we are one in nature with God, we shall not find the way of life. Until we realize that our own word has the power of life, we will not see clearly. The Bible points out that man has the same power in his own life and in his own world that it claims for God. The Word was with God, and the Word was God, is an oft repeated but little understood statement. The promise to man is equally positive. The Word is nigh thee, even in thine own mouth, that thou shouldest know it and do it. If any word has power, it follows that all words have power. It means that every word which we hear, speak, or think has some power. And so it is. And at this time, I believe that Reverend Linda is going to lead us in our invocation.
This power, this presence that we call God, we call spirit, we call the universe is with us each and every moment of each and every day. And we are one with this power. And it guides us, it leads us in every aspect of our lives. We feel this presence as we feel the warm sun on us, as we feel the blades of grass moving. It is with us in every aspect of our lives. And as we begin this service, we know that Spirit guides us. Spirit is in the words that Reverend Michael says. Spirit is in Victoria's music. Spirit is in each and every congregant, whether they're on Facebook or Zoom. We know that what we hear today is what we need to hear, and it goes out into the community with love. It goes out into the world with love. I'm so grateful to be a part of this community. I give this spirit, I give it to God. I give this presence of spirit in our lives to God. I know it is done right here, right now, as we say our words. And together we say, and so it is.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. And White Feather, you are the guest artist today, I believe. No? That look on your face, I would say, Well, then let's see. Let's,
Just give me one, if you can just give me 1 second, I'll be right back.
is that okay with you, Victoria?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh.
I was thinking White Feather was yeah.
Okay.
But I think something needed. So, but I would love to hear White Feather play.
All right. Well, then we will allow him that time and moment and place to do that. So we believe that music is always critical and important to our service and all that we're doing. And I just want to make mention that today our theme this month is the mindfulness for mavericks, because we know that religious scientists are often individuals that think out of the box and like to explore and advance and reach out into the cosmos as great as we can in order to experience a greater truth of who we are and what we are about. The reading in the Science of Mind magazine today is on becoming more awake. And I'm going to read one of the quotes while White Feather is preparing. And it says, "No matter how full a reservoir of maximums one may possess, and no matter how good one's sentiments may be, if one has not taken advantage of every concrete opportunity to act, one's character may remain entirely unaffected for the better." So we know that as religious scientists, we have the opportunity to open up our mind and to go deeper within and forever revealing that greater truth of who we are as individualized expressions of spirit. So are we ready for music?
I am ready, Reverend Michael.
All right. So once again, then I want to welcome and introduce White Feather. White Feather is not only a longstanding member of our beloved community, but he is currently the president of our core council, and we have a great council of elected leaders who are leading our beloved community into the greatest expression. And this morning, we are so blessed to bring forth that beautiful music that White Feather is always able to bring forth, even on short notice. So please, let's welcome White Feather.
Thank you, Reverend Michael. White Feather today brings you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So once again, welcome this morning to the Center for Spiritual Living, Menifee Valley, and for all that that we are doing here in our center, knowing that during this time, as we are in this, quarantine period or safety precautions, that we are always taking into consideration first and foremost the safety and the well-being of each and every person. So we want to do what we can in order to make sure that everybody remains safe. And I know that all of us are eager and anxious to be able to get back together and be able to connect with one another. So it's wonderful that we have this opportunity to connect in this way. And I know that as religious scientists, that our intent, our intent for our organization is that we are doing the consciousness work, we are doing the mental work that allows for us to continue to grow and expand in consciousness so that we are able to create a world that works for all, that we are able to bring forth a greater realization of that wholeness and that perfection and the oneness that we speak of when we talk about truth and we talk about the life that we are living. So in this month's theme, mindfulness for Mavericks, and the Science of Mind magazine, the daily guide for today, on becoming more awake. That idea that that the fullness, the wholeness, the perfection out of the mind of God is always available. It has always been there, and it will always be there. And that our purpose here in this experience that we call human life is to come into the awareness, in a sense, to awaken to all of that potential that is just waiting there on the surface for us to realize that the greater truth of who we are. And so I'm thinking that in today's message, I want to speak about intentions, how it is that we set our intention to bring us into that awareness and into that experience of having a greater truth, a greater realization of the life that we are living. I think that we all have desires, and we know that our desires come forth and are complete when we set into motion the law of mind. And we realize this completion that when we're able to see the form of our desire. For we are always in our mind, in the back of our mind, in our subconscious. We have dreams, we have imaginings, we have wishes and things that we would like to see come forth. And the way in which we hold those thoughts in our consciousness, and the way in which we set our intention for how we want to come forth for life is going to bring forth that demonstration in our experience. For the power of intention is the demonstration of our faith, the faith of the invisible substance of life. And what we believe is that thoughts become things. And we know that what they're a focused thought is more powerful than an unfocused thought. Mindful intelligence creates a path for a definite and a measurable demonstration of faith, that it requires for us to have a clarity of mind, to have the focus of what it is that we are reaching for, of what we are seeking, in this idea that we know that there's always something greater yet to be. We know that the universe in its creative nature is always responding to us. So if we are responding, or if we are acting or believing out of an unfocused mind, our thoughts are distracted. We're over here one moment, then over there next moment, and we're wanting this one day, and then we're wanting something else another day. That the universe is always responding, so it's responding in kind. And if your mind is forever jumping around from thought to thought and idea to idea, and you're not allowing for a clarity or for a focus on your intention, then that's the way the universe is going to respond to you. So if you're seeing in your life that things seem to be disorganized and they're jumbled and they're rambling around, then perhaps that's where your mind is creating it. So we need to pay attention to what it is that we are intending. We don't want to create our life or our experience just by some random default setup that we have. You know, our faith and our belief oftentimes is something that has been given to us. We've grown up, we've been raised to believe in that way or to think in that way, and so we just go along with it, and we're not paying attention that some of our desires are often in conflict with the belief that we've been holding. So through our classes, through our teachings, through the spiritual practices that we do in meditation and affirmation and affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment, these are ways in which we can open up into understanding the beliefs that we have, and perhaps they're hidden beliefs. We just have been going along with them so long in our life that we don't even realize that that's a belief that we are holding. And so we have to open up our mind to see what it is that we've been carrying along with us throughout our lifetime experience. And perhaps then once we realize that and we discover that, then we can change our thinking, we can change our belief, and we can come into a greater understanding. I believe that often that what is going on in the world today is coming out of that accumulated thought pattern that the human mind has been expressing around the world, and that universal creative law is responding to it in a way that says if you're not waking up to the way in which you're thinking and the way in which you're believing, then these things will continue to show up in your life experience. So if we're not satisfied, if we're not fulfilled in the way in which our life is showing up, then it's an opportunity for us to awaken up to a new understanding and into a new thought. And our thought, every thought, is our prayer. Ernest Holmes says that we demonstrate from the tendency of our thoughts, that our mindful attention to our thoughts and our underlying attention helps to clarify that tendency of thoughts to demonstrate the good that we choose. And our tendency of thought means that oftentimes we're carrying a belief along with us that says something like, I'm not good enough. So in the back of our mind, that's the tendency of thought that we are always carrying. I'm not good enough. I'm not educated enough. I'm not wealthy enough. I'm not, and you can fill in the blank. And I'm sure that most of us are aware that when we come up against a challenge or a barrier, there's some old belief, some old thought, some old pattern that shows up, and that's our barrier. That's our block from realizing our truth. If we're doing our spiritual practice, if we're doing our work diligently each and every day, when we come up against those thoughts and those old beliefs, then we have the power available within us then to change that. We can declare that we no longer are following that belief and that we are stepping into a new truth. this is the way in which we use our affirmations. So if one has a tendency to believe that they're not enough, then they write out an affirmation, perhaps that says that I am more than enough, and put that on your mirror or on your refrigerator or someplace that reminds you daily of the power and the presence and the worthiness of who you are, so that you can continue to move through this experience in a greater truth. Becoming more awake and aware can lead to the experience of a greater truth in our life. We are precisely who we think we are within the tendency of our thoughts, meaning that our thoughts are those that we have consciously and unconsciously. There's the axiom that says, to know thyself and the truth shall set you free. To know thyself. These are the purposes of the classes that we take, is so that you can not just learn material or read a lot of books, but that you will dive deep into the soul, into the depth of the soul of who you are, so that you can better know yourself. For once you know yourself, once you know the truth of who you are, that you are a child of God, and you hold that belief and you carry that belief, then you will set yourself free from the bondage of old beliefs and old habits, and you will step into that greater truth. Along those lines, the question comes up, it's like, well, who do you think you are? And do you know who you think you are? For your life is a reflection of your belief about yourself. If you want to know who you are, then spend some time reflecting upon your life and your life experience, and where you're heading and how things are working for you, even in the middle of chaos. If one can step back just momentarily and look for a few moments at what's going on in and around and about your life, and then reflect upon that, you will begin to have this understanding of some of the beliefs that you are carrying. And from there, you can begin to change your patterns. You can begin to change the tendency of your thought, so that you develop more of the confidence of the truth that you are in the mind of God, equally and wholly and perfect and complete, and has the power and the presence to bring about whatever your desires are, whatever your greater truth is. For we know that really the only boundaries that we have in expressing our genius and expressing the truth of who we are by the limits that we set upon ourselves. That if we are willing to free ourselves from the limits and expectations of outside sources, and that we go within and rely upon the divine source that is the power and the presence within us, then we can achieve and accomplish and manifest and demonstrate the life that we really want to experience. For your mind is the most powerful instrument in the universe, and that you have a divine gift within you, and that gift is your imagination. That if you can imagine, if you can focus, if you can set your intention and then follow through on those intentions, then you can create and rewrite your own story, and you can become the master of your experience by creating mindful intentions and daily training your mind to create the life that you are choosing. You can live the life that you imagine. So what are you doing in order to use your mind and the power that creates and exists for each and every one of us? It gives us the possibility and the potential that if we mentally examine our beliefs and our tendency and our thoughts, that here we can begin to make the changes from within. And as we do that, as we work within on ourself and know and truly understand who we are, then the outer experience will begin to manifest and demonstrate itself into who we are. I like the affirmation that I use, and I use it in a couple of different ways. And it sounds like this: there is only one mind, and that mind is God's mind, and that mind is perfect, and that mind is my mind now. There is only one life, and that life is God's life, and that life is perfect, and that life is my life now. So you are limitless in your potential and in the power of creating your intentions. They are boundless. You can manifest and demonstrate in your life all that you want. So what life do you want to create with this power that you have in your mind and in your soul, in the being of who you are? What changes do you want to create within you that will not only change your life experience, but it will change the life of the community of which you are a part of? So you have this potential and this power within you to create the beloved community that you want to be in. You have the power and the potential within you to create the life that you want to have. And even if it's a matter of that you want to be in a place of more rest and more peace and more joy and more harmony, that state of mind is created by using the power and the presence within you. So I would like to close by giving you this affirmation for today. My faith is strong. My intentions are clear and powerful. My faith is strong. My intentions are clear and powerful. So may you have a wonderful week this week, using your mind, using the power that the divine has given you, so that you can create and manifest and demonstrate the life that you so desire. Namaste. And so if we can, I would like to invite White Feather to come back in and to give us some more of his beautiful music.
Thank you, Reverend Michael. This next song is going to be for my dear friend Robbie Jean. And it's a song called Kiva.
Thank you, White.
So this is our time, our healing prayer, also our time for Thanksgiving, for the giving and the receiving. And I know that as we continue to move forward, that as you are sending in your offerings and your gifts and contributions and tithe, that we greatly appreciate that, because that allows us to continue on to do the work that we are doing. And I just invite you to mail in your checks or check the website for our donations through using PayPal and or however it is that it works for you, that you can continue to support us. So I just invite us all to go within in this moment and to just consider what is our intention for this week? What is the intention for yourself, for your truer individual person to express itself in this week, in this life? What is the greater experience that would you like to bring forth in health, or in prosperity, or in relationship, or in compensation, in work, or just in the state of mind that you would like to find yourself resonating with? Is there anyone else that you know, someone in your family or your loved one, who is in need of prayer, that you would like to see them uplifted into that greater experience of truth and revealing the presence of who they are? And just take that within into your heart, into your soul, into your mind, knowing that as we come together, where two or more are gathered in agreement, that we recognize that there is a divine presence, that there is an eternal life, there is an infinite intelligence, the power and the presence that is moving upon itself and coming forth into the manifestation and the demonstration of each and every one of us for all that is in this physical universe. It is out of that creative nature of the divine that wants to bring itself fully and completely into the realization of the wholeness and the perfection and the truth of how it is, in that sense of love and understanding and compassion. And so I'm knowing that as we come together and hold this within our hearts and our minds and our soul, that all of our intentions, all of our desires, all of the good that we are worthy of receiving, all of that good that we have already received, and all of the good that is yet to be received, I know that it is being brought forth, and it is vibrating in that vibration of harmony within all of the universe, so that it does no harm to anyone, but it only allows for that good that is right and just and perfect coming forth for each and every individual, that we all awaken to this understanding that every person, everything, every part of this world is necessary in order to fulfill the wholeness and the oneness of who we are. And so I give great thanks for this good and the good that is yet to be received. I say thank you, thank you, thank you, God, for all of this that has been received and all that is yet to come. And then I simply release and surrender into the power and the presence that I know that is the divine that is working through each and every one of us. I release this prayer, this service, this day up over into that universal law, because I know there in the mind of God, it is already made so. It is good and very good. And as it is, then I know that we affirm it as we say together, and so it is. And so, thank you. And I would like to invite Victoria to bring us together in closing with the peace song, and then we will share together in fellowship.